Hi, Kethevane. Can you tell us a little bit more about this leak and what it indicates?
Well, as you mentioned, this was a draft opinion that was written by Justice Alito. So it is a draft opinion, meaning that by the time the final decision is actually issued in at least about 4 weeks, maybe 6, that can still change. But with that caveat, this is a huge decision if that is indeed the final decision. And the proof that it is such a huge decision is how quickly we got statements coming out of the leadership on both sides of the aisle. Very quickly last night, the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi coming out with a forceful statement saying that if this was indeed the final decision, it would be one of the worst and most damaging decisions in modern history. And just earlier today, we got a statement by the President of the United States saying again that if this is indeed the final decision, it would be one that will trigger some reaction from the administration. He first reiterated the defense of a woman's fundamental right to choose. He also said that his administration had been working hard to prepare options for that possibility of Roe versus Wade being overturned. Now, what those options are, we don't know yet, but that shows that the president is taking this extremely seriously. Now, in the draft opinion, Justice Alito basically says that Roe v. Wade and the right to abortion in the United States was the wrong decision from the very start, and that this right has to go back to the states. This is what he believes, and it is a 5-4 majority in this case right now as the draft is written, meaning that the conservative Chief Justice Roberts actually decided to side with the liberal on this one, and that could be the final vote if this stands.
So if this goes ahead, Kethevane, what will happen next?
Well, the basic principle of the right to an abortion here in the United States would no longer be protected by the Constitution, meaning that it would go back to the states and that each state would be able to decide to either ban or uphold the right for an abortion. And things could go extremely quickly because states have been getting ready for this possible moment, especially states that are led by Republicans. You have these so-called trigger laws in about a dozen states in the U.S., and these trigger laws are made in a way that they would come into effect immediately if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned. And these trigger laws basically ban almost all abortions. There's another dozen or so states that are slowly but surely passing laws that heavily restrict access to abortion. And so you're going to have very quickly a sort of divided United States of America, pretty much half and half, between states that will try to strengthen access to abortion and states that will try to restrict access to abortion. One last thing to be said is that if the court actually does overturn Roe versus Wade, it will go against some of the American people and a heavy majority of American people, because the latest polls show that about 70% of Americans are against Roe v. Wade being overturned. That is something that is a number very important in the United States, an agreement among Republicans and Democrats on the fact that it should not be overturned, and this is likely to be a key issue for Democrats in the midterm. And in the statement by Joe Biden, there is already that sign. He said that if this happens, then the voters will have to elect people, elect senators, elect representatives that are more pro-choice in order for this to become a law and to be passed in Congress.
All right, Kethevane, the divided states of America, I think, on this issue more than any other, perhaps. Thank you for that.